I'm a mom, but I'm a supporter of child-free women, and I believe that child-free women if they have the space, the time, the opportunity to rest, to take vacations, to brunch, to do whatever the hell they want to, they should be able to because they have earned that time and space and they have that money to do what they want to. So I came across this Am I the A-hole post. She says, am I the a-hole for not canceling my vacation and reporting a coworker for harassment? Off bat, the answer is no, because that coworker was out here being a busybody. She says, this is a throwaway, so I'll say goodbye for now. Thank you for your support. I'll come back with an update when I have one. She gives us an update and edit up here, but I'm going to go down to the original post and then I'll come back up to the edit. All right, so she says, at my job, you can only roll over 250 vacation hours. So come December 31st, if you have over 250 hours, you lose them. They don't pay out. Every year, my husband and I take several longish 10 to 11 day scheduled vacations, visiting a relative in Florida, family reunion, wherever it's being hosted, anniversary trip each fall, etc. I always end up having over 250 hours even though we take those trips. I usually take between the 15th and the 18th of December through the 5th or the 6th of December off. I have been doing this for 9 years and it's approved. We hired Haley in October. She has made it clear that her son is her life. That's well and fine. I don't care one way or another. Haley came to my desk on Monday and asked if I would reconsider my time off in December. When I asked why, she said she had requested some time off to travel with her son for the holidays to see her family, but it was denied because I'm off. I just said, no, sorry, and turned back around. That afternoon, Haley sent me an email with an itemized timeline of all the time I had taken off this year. Our team has a shared calendar, so we can know when the other people are out of the office, and asked to please reconsider, and she CC'd our boss. I will be honest, this severely pissed me off. I don't butt into anyone else's business ever. I don't care if I see your butt parked on the 50-yard line at the Eagles game the same day you call in sick. Go Birds. As long as I'm not having to do your work, I do not care. I emailed back immediately saying I don't appreciate her combing through my vacation time and that my answer was still no, and I don't want to discuss the matter further. Yesterday morning, I was called into a meeting with my boss, Lisa, and Haley. Lisa jumped right in saying that she saw Haley's email and my response, and Haley wanted to meet. I told Haley and Lisa both, I will not be canceling my vacation. Haley starts raising her voice about how my child-free traveling should take a backseat to working-class mothers and their kids. She claimed that I hate kids from my remarks in the workplace, and she felt I was retaliating for the cause. Both Lisa and I were shocked at the accusation. I am child-free by choice. My husband and I have lots of nieces and nephews, as well as godchildren, and we are happy. We do not hate kids. Lisa knows this as well. We have worked together in total for about 15 years. I told Haley that she's making a false accusation, and this was now an HR matter. I got up and left the meeting, even though Lisa asked me to stay. About a half an hour later, I got another email from Haley, but she was informing me that she was asking Lisa to make the call to revoke my PTO and be fair to others on our team. Then I overheard her telling a team member that I'm not letting her take time off because I hate kids and I'm part of the hateful child-free community. That was the last straw for me. I attached both of her emails and wrote an email to HR about her harassing and slandering me. I gave the name of the coworker she was talking to and the conversation context as well. I hit send and forwarded it to my boss afterwards, so she knew what was going on. About an hour ago, I found out that Haley has a meeting with HR on Friday, and she will more than likely be fired. The coworker she complained to told me that he felt I overreacted and that she was just venting about finding childcare for the holidays because of work, and I should have sat down to talk about it more. A friend who is also a colleague who told me about the meeting said she thought I let my anger get the best of me, and now Haley may lose her job when she's just a stressed out and overly tired mother having a bad day. I will admit I used the buzzwords of harassment and slander to get my point across, but it had been 2 days of an ask and answer conversation, and I was done with it. So, am I the a-hole for reporting her over this incident? P.S. I'm not the only one off. We are a team of 5 people, and 2 other coworkers are off during the time she wants, but they have children. And the remarks, she asked me when she started why I don't want kids, and I said I like coming home to a clean and quiet house. That's the extent of the remarks. She says, edit, I'm in the U.S. in the Midwest, and my company is huge on work-life balance due to burnout in our field. You're eligible to use your PTO after 30 days, and it accrues fast. After looking, Haley is eligible for 52 hours of PTO to date. She said, this is edit number 2. A lot of questions about my vacation time. During COVID, my company allowed us to roll over all PTO from 2020 to 2022 because of the no travel stuff happening. In 2023, they moved the bar from 150 hours, 4-ish weeks, up to 250, 6-ish weeks rollover because a lot of people complained about losing a lot of time when they didn't travel. You were not required to bank your time. Some people took theirs and traveled. We took the pandemic seriously and did not travel all in 2020 to mid 2021. And then we stayed home most of the first half of 2022, as well as started traveling again in October of 2022. So I banked my 250, and because I'm still accruing, I have a lot of hours built up. We do snow activities that are free in the winter, so we barely travel, and we don't start traveling until May of each year, and by that time, I've accrued more time. Hope this helps. So she's just letting everybody know how she has that much time. Plus, she's been with this company for a good long time. So this is the first post. There is an update. All right, so here's the update. She says, now to clear some things up before the update. Vacation time. I'm not the only person off every December. There are 2 other people off as well who Haley did not ask to cancel. They are both mothers. There's no seniority involved. It's first come, first served time off. Lastly, I am not monopolizing the Christmas holiday. In January, we all take one of the slower days and have a 2 to 3 hour lunch and go over the calendar for the year of proposed vacation time. I live in a very outdoorsy state, so my coworkers who are big into outdoor things locally like hiking, camping, and backpacking prefer spring and summertime off. I prefer domestic and international travel to local, so December is a good time for me to take off and support my team. This was a collective decision, and there has never been a time when I've said no to switching days off if I did not have any traveling or planned schedule. I've always been flexible with my team. Also, at my company, you can use PTO after 30 days during your probationary period. It is strongly suggested you complete your training first, and your supervisor has discretion to deny your request at any time. Second, I was cold to Haley because she said to me, since you don't have kids, I figured you could cancel your vacation because I immediately was going to shut her down because for child-free people in the workplace, it's a dangerous precedent to set that you'll always work when parents have something kid-related going on. I replied with, I'm busy, sorry, no, and turned back around. That was my full statement. I did not give her a reason because frankly, I don't owe her details, and she rubbed me the wrong way from the start. Lastly, Haley is not a younger girl still wet behind the ears with a toddler. After a conversation with a different coworker about the situation, Haley is 45 and her son is 16. This is not the toddler and daycare scene she set it up to be. I didn't know this information when we talked, so it doesn't change my actions and my opinion. Again, she started in October and is still training, so we don't have a real personal foundation laid out yet. Now for the update. Yesterday morning, I came into an email from HR asking to interview me prior to Haley's meeting, and my manager got one too. Lisa called me into her office to talk about it. She asked me why I got up and left so fast, and I was honest with her. I told her that we both know that child-free people sometimes get stereotyped as child-hating monsters, and I felt Haley took it too far, claiming I said things I didn't when it came to kids. Lisa said that was fair, but it wouldn't have killed me to try to talk to her more and maybe hear her out. I've known Lisa for a while, so I was honest and said I wasn't willing to talk anymore after she told a few people I'm difficult to work with. Lisa was taken aback by that information and said Haley told her that she reacted the way she did because I cut her off and said something, maybe said no, as soon as she mentioned her son. I told Lisa that was wildly untrue, and she can ask Graham, who sits next to me. I listened to the entire thing. She sent a quick chat to Graham, and he confirmed that I did not cut her off, and I was nice about saying no. She asked Haley who spoke to, and she asked who Haley spoke to, and I gave the 3 names given to me that she spoke with. Lisa said she would attempt to talk to them before the meeting on Friday to get a feel for what was actually said. She told me that Haley wanted to speak to me in a conference room and if I would be willing. I told her yes because Reddit bullied me into being nice, LOL. Haley came into the meeting and got right into asking why I needed all the vacation time I had. Immediately, I felt irritated but let it go. I told her I didn't want to discuss why I'm taking off because I don't even tell our boss why I'm gone. I requested, she approves it. For reference, our company is huge in letting employees know you do not have to tell anyone why you're out of the office, not even your boss. She scoffed and said she felt like I didn't care, that she wanted to make memories with her son, and that I didn't care she would be missing time with him. I told her I'm sorry she felt that way, but I didn't really think about it in any capacity and felt she has misled me by saying she would need to find childcare as her son is 16, something a coworker who admitted he doesn't like Haley told me in order to let it be known that her child is not a toddler as she has let a few people believe. She told me not to speak about her son because he has crippling anxiety and needs care when she isn't home. I didn't speak any more about it, but I did say I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm not sure what else there is to say. At that point, she asked me what days I would be giving her. I looked at her and said, "Did you call this meeting to talk to me about what days I'll be working?" And she said, "Yes, what else would I be asking about?" This set me off, but I remained calm because the meeting was being recorded. Get to that in a second. So I just said, "I'm sorry, I think we missed something here. I was under the impression you wanted to formally apologize, not ask for the switch still. I'm not interested, and I think we should end the meeting here." She was extremely upset and said, "So you're not giving me any of your days? You don't have anything going on?" And I said, "I'm sorry, but I'm going to go." And she said, "What the F ever is this is such a favoritism BS." I told her that is fine. I'm going to end the recording here and leave the meeting. I pushed in on the record on the record and got up to leave. She put her hand on my notebook, brought it out of habit, and said, "Recording? There's no cameras in here." I told her that I recorded it on my phone to stop any more confusion about what I've actually said, since there seems to be a misconception that I've said some pretty terrible things I haven't. She was visibly pissed off at this point and stormed out, but doubled back and said, "State is a consent recording state, and you do not have my consent to record that meeting." I told her to check her email, and I moved past her to my desk. In all of our meetings, the note says, "This meeting is being recorded. By accepting the invitation, you are giving consent to being recorded for necessary purposes." Well, to me, this was necessary. I'm not sure if she is aware of this, but I put that note in our meeting when I sent her a time to meet so I could record for my own protection. So, come this morning. Haley is out sick. Lisa got an email from HR to reschedule the meeting for later next week, as Haley emailed them saying she has COVID and hopes to be back next week. So, folks, the jury is still out, and hopefully next week this is behind us. This is a mess. This woman named Haley is taking things way too far. She feels entitled to this woman's time simply because this woman is child free. She doesn't know if this woman has an actual vacation plan where she's booked a hotel and a flight. She doesn't know if family is coming into town. She doesn't know anything, but she thinks that this child-free woman is just supposed to drop everything and give her this time. I don't like entitled people. I don't think that people are just supposed to just give you something simply because you ask. Because if you ask a question or request something, the answer could very well be no. So this woman, Haley, is out of pocket and out of line. And if she's still in her training period, she deserves to be fired for this. Fascination Street says, she told me that Haley wanted to speak to me in a conference room and if I would be willing, and says this should never have happened. She and you should have been pulled into HR separately and immediately, not the a-hole. Now here's the OP, Child Free for Life. That's her name. She says, that's why I recorded. I didn't want to come off like I was being combative. I genuinely thought this was a formal, I'm sorry I overreacted, so we can go into the HR meeting and say this is a non-issue and I won't act like that again kind of meeting. Lisa also gave me no indication that she knew this was what Haley meant and emailed the recording to Lisa, who did tell me privately after work that the recording didn't do Haley any favors whatsoever. Sucker for Cat says, did you send HR the recording? You should. Don't let her get away with cussing at you too. And then the OP said, yes, I did. Sent it about 10 minutes after finding out how to attach it to an email without cutting the quality. I listened to it back and she sounds disgusted with me, which makes her sound insane because literally nothing has happened between us. All right, Blue Wolf says, sister, the Lisa boss is not your friend. She's making everything so much worse. Careful there. And then the OP says, oh no, she's not. Don't be confused. I'm not friends with Lisa. I just know how she operates. I don't for a second think she's working to protect me. That's why I jumped to making this an HR issue and documenting everything. And then this person says, you should get an attorney. I'm being serious. One $300 letter to HR and they will have a come to Jesus moment. So this person right here, Child Free for Life, this woman knows the ropes. She knows how to protect her neck. And I like that about her. She is a woman about her business. She is absolutely not the a-hole. I hope that she has an amazing vacation wherever she goes, or if she stays at home and just frolics in her robe. That is her decision to make. Y'all join the conversation and let me know what you think of this one.